Yes, everyone, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Just going to be doing a quick Twitter reacts for you guys after the last preseason friendly of the summer against Bayern Munich, where we ended up sadly taking the defeat 3-2. Dave can't join me for this one. He's off to see a friend this evening, as am I. So I'm recording this one nice and quickly for you guys. So hopefully you can for me. Smash the like button, get in those comments down below what your favorites of the tweets are, and also what your thoughts are on the game and the preseason in general. But let's get straight into this one. Plenty about, of course, Will Lancashire and Harry Kane meeting up. Plenty about Sonny and Harry Kane seeing each other back again in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and plenty more. But let's get off first with Jake here saying, and shoving Lancashire on at the same time as Kane. We call that foreshadowing. This is definitely cinema, according to Martin Scorsese. Yeah, I just think that was a nice, beautiful touch by Ange, and something that Spurs fans can look forward to seeing in the future. Big John Bass saying Romero has just come on and is already smashing everyone. You absolutely love it. Seeing Van de Ven and Romero back at the same time just gives us that hope that even though we have been getting exposed defensively, I think in these preseason games, that we know that we have two world-class defenders in Romero and Van de Ven to see the danger, and also as well to kind of give us that sense of composure, at least when we are being countered on or transitioned on. They are just so good in possession, so good defensively. Gives us that hope that maybe that things can start to come together, I guess, at least in that department. Nathan, and this is going to be a big thing with Ange Postecoglou that will be coming up, I imagine, in plenty of discussions this week, as well as here on the Twitter Reacts. Nathan's saying there will be no improvement on the defensive set pieces. Then I'll have to tell the children. Big John Bass, Big Barrack Ball reminds me of myself throwing up 10 minutes into a preseason friendly. Big John Bass, you got to get on the summer runs, my friend, because preseason, the summer, it's all about getting back into shape, getting ready for an upcoming mental season of Spurs, because I think it's a lot harder to motivate yourself to get back into shape when you're already dealing with Spurs as it is. So now's the time to do it if you can. Lana already putting out some job applications for Spurs. Apparently, there's already a vacancy in the set piece coach department. I mean, Jedinak, Ryan Mason, both of them just don't really seem up for it. Jedinak, if he's in charge of the defensive side of things, I mean, I just don't even know what we're working on. And then even also with attacking set pieces, like I don't even remember too many goals that we've even scored from attacking set pieces in the case of Ryan Mason. So I just say probably two set piece coaches is really what Spurs should be looking at ahead of this one. John McKenzie saying there's still time to hire a set piece coach, Ans, after just tweeting before that 2 hours ago, Spurs conceding from a set piece. The world is now healing. Billy saying set piece goal gimmick still active. It's becoming a big problem for Ange Postecoglou. It certainly is, and one that I just don't think he can really ignore in the way that he did previously. With the way that he's just sort of shook off the questions, I just don't think he can go for that sort of approach now when it comes to that. Ty saying Bergvall should 100% start for the Spurs against Leicester. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Well, some people might, Ty, but let us know in the comments, please. Who would you be starting? Bergvall, Madison? I think Madison actually played a lot better in that most recent game, but you do see a difference between him and Bergvall. In particular, I think it has to do with the work rate. I don't think Madison has ever been a guy that's always been the most willing of pressers and maybe the most willing to work hard defensively. Not saying he hurts us defensively every game, but Bergvall is just actually like a beast in the press, and a beast with his work rate. And you do see that he has that sort of strength as well, where he can just shove players off the ball and win it in really good positions for us. And I just don't think Madison sadly has that in his game. But Madison, in the most recent performance, I thought actually played all right, at least going forward, but you do see a difference in them defensively, at least in my opinion. Simon Humane saying Kulusevski has been on fire this preseason. He certainly has. Almost bagged himself a hat trick if he was able to stay on longer in this one. And I wonder if Ange Postecoglou has more to think about with Kulusevski, either putting him back out on the right wing. I'm not sure if that's really where he plays his best, but he has been performing really well this preseason. We have to find a way to get him into this team, because he has been a bit of a revelation, I think, at striker, because you have Richarlison as well as Solanke, two very similar minded, two very similar types of styles of striker. But with Kulusevski, you have something a bit different, someone who can also, like them, play with their back to goal, but he can also drop a bit deeper. He has that eye for a pass when need be, and he has just been getting in the box and getting in good areas to score. And Kulusevski's had a fine preseason, and you wonder if he can carry it on into the regular season when the Premier League gets ahead. Talking THFC saying like a pair of divorced parents at their daughter's wedding. When I saw this image of Solanke and Richarlison, they didn't look that happy, be at the game or that happy to be next to each other. I'm not sure which is which. And they certainly did not look happy with that first half performance, the two of them. And they definitely probably wanted to be out there to show Spurs fans what they can deliver and see if they could help us out. Simon Humane saying Gray is such a solid player to have it right back. Really think there will be games where Ange will actually prefer him over Spence and Poro as he provides some other attributes that those guys maybe don't have. I think that defensively with Gray, he does have this eye for danger, maybe more so than sometimes someone like a Pedro Porro or Spence do. Both of them are just so good going forward. Spence with his ball carrying, also with just his, kind of, I think, willingness to take players on. Pedro Porro just has that bit of just quality in possession where he can find passes that others can. He has that delicious cross on him as well. And something about Gray I like is that he's positionally very intelligent, I think, defensively. And all could be very good options to have, I think, in that right back position. It's just where will Archie Gray really be playing the majority of the season? I'm not too sure because Basuma at the moment might have that number 6 spot locked down for the most part. Gray didn't look too great with maybe the little cameos that he had in the number 6 role. I think that's eventually where he will play, but you wonder where his minutes will be found this upcoming season. Jesse Payneman, Harry Kane, and Sonny today. It was beautiful to see them back together, and you can see they still have that special bond, that special friendship with each other. And in my opinion, the best striking duo that we've ever seen, the best striking partnership we've ever seen, at least in my time as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and also in general watching the Premier League. I think those two were really taken for granted and weren't probably given the praise that they deserve for being such a brilliant combination and also have such great chemistry with each other. I think off the field as well as on the field. And I think it's something that the Premier League has been missing. Spurs fans have been missing. You look at their record together. I think they're both equal on the amount of times that they've assisted each other or something. It's not like Sonny's always the one assisting Kane or Kane's always the one assisting Sonny. They really split it amongst each other, and they just had such a special partnership. Ayudi saying, watching Tottenham Hotspur right now, this was debatably close to going on the thumbnail because that is a very accurate, I think, face for both Saleki and Richarlison. Take your pick of us watching that game. Patty Harnett saying, my halftime analysis from that game was F Bayern, F Spurs, F Kane, F our defensive coach. Maybe in the order of probably F the defensive coach, then F Bayern. Not sure if I really want to disrespect Kane like that, but that's Patty's choice. And, with Spurs, I think it was a very frustrating first half. But for the most part, I think they started to make up for it in the second half. Jay saying Harry Kane refusing the armband before the trophy celebration against Tottenham. This was actually fascinating here, everybody. I'm not sure if you were able to get a look at this, but this is a very, very interesting kind of just moment from Harry Kane. It's very obvious that he didn't want to really be that involved in kind of this silly trophy celebration, even though we kind of, as Spurs fans, do like to get ourselves involved in the Tiger Cup and all that sort of thing. Harry Kane just did not seem like he wanted to make a big deal of this, and he still has that love for us, you can tell. Micah saying, imagine backing up from a 16-year-old at the big age of 28. This is the one that does make the thumbnail if you didn't already know this by now, everybody. I mean, Kingsley Coman and Mikey Moore locking heads there. You just love to see it. And Mikey Moore, Will Lancashire, all these guys, they just didn't back down. They showed no fear, in fact, against these senior pros that they've come up against, either Bayern Munich or any other of the teams that they have played against. It's been amazing to see these kids. They're so good in terms of their actual quality, but also their composure, their confidence in themselves. They've been really, honestly, incredible to watch this preseason. One of the best preseasons I can remember, just for the fact that these kids have given us a lot of hope for the future. And also, when things have been going poorly in certain games, they've come on and saved us and set the standards as well. Talking THFC saying enough to make a grown man cry when watching Harry Kane and Sonny bonding again. Like I said, they still have that special love for each other. It's just class recognizes class in their cases. Stefan McGrath saying two hilariously dumb goals conceded. We are so back. This is definitely the feeling of a Spurs fan watching us concede 2 goals like that, and also 3 goals, really, all from big mistakes. In the case of Vicario, to the 2 set pieces, just really frustrating to watch. But also a sign that Tottenham Hotspur certainly are back. The Fighting Cock saying the past as well as the future. Just gorgeous to see, really, and a good touch by Ange Postecoglou, I think, to have them on at the same time. Will Lancashire, as plenty of people have pointed out, has very similar sort of look and vibe, and even attributes to that of a Harry Kane, even the way he walks around and carries himself, their build, all of it just is strikingly similar. It really is interesting to see. Carly T saying this is just beyond poetic. I completely agree. Simon Yemaine, Bentancur is such an underrated player at this stage. Thoughts on Bentancur's performance, everyone? I think Dave and I, we were kind of distracted by just sort of how poor the first half was. And then also plenty of people had so many thoughts on it that we were getting through it as quick we could. That I think Bentancur's performance maybe didn't get enough praise from Dave and I respectively. So let me know your thoughts on his performance. He did need to get minutes into his legs. So it was good to see that in Bentancur's case. And so let me know your thoughts on the performance he had in general. Ayudi saying the way Harry Kane went to calm Cudi Romero instead of Coman. Yeah, that was brilliant to see. I think Romero is just a guy that loves to get involved in the scrap. He has no problem, throwing his own head in there. I mean, Mikey Moore didn't have a problem throwing his head in there, but Christian Romero doesn't either. He's a guy who likes this sort of housery. He likes the battles. He likes the fierceness. He likes the intensity of a game. And Spurs as well going on and pointing out that Swedish connection between Bergvall as well as Kulusevski. It was a great win from Bergvall here. He really does such a good job winning the ball off of Conrad Leimer. And then just to have that extra bit of composure to play the pass in the way that he did to Kulu really does show how much of a special and quality player he really is. Johnny H was at the game, and it looks like he had some problems with the set piece defending, as did a lot of Spurs fan, saying at this point, I have no words. Wow, Spurs 3-1 Bayern. Absolutely shocking defending yet again from Tottenham. I have no idea what they've been working on defensively this summer, but this just ain't it. I think on the one that frustrated me more was actually the Kulusevski back post, because he's a strong kid. He's a strong guy. And the way he just got kind of bullied or just didn't really seem to care to make much of an effort in the back post in this situation, I found it very frustrating. The other goals, don't get me wrong, were also very frustrating to see, but it was hard to watch this because Kulusevski is someone who we defend a lot on this channel, who we think is a good player, but yet again, he's just not helping us out from set pieces. And that was the case of, I'm probably being harsh here, but that was the case I remember from maybe the Everton game as well as some other ones from last season where Kulu didn't really help us out on set pieces. So it's something that Ange needs to think about, needs to work on, and it's something that a lot of the players need to be working on. Spurs OTM, it's Mikey Moore getting in Kingsley Coman's face. Yes, he did. And it's just great to see that Mikey Moore just had that intensity about him in this game. He wanted to come on, make an impact, but he also wanted to show that he's not intimidated at the age of 16, turning 17 tomorrow. And when this releases, it will be Mikey Moore's birthday. So do wish him a happy birthday, everyone. And I also love when Will Lancashire absolutely clattered through Palhinha as well. United Spurs of America saying, I lost my mind when I saw this live. I love him so much. Tottenham's best right winger already at Mikey Moore. Well done, Jacob. Absolutely right. Billy saying Bergvall nearly dying immediately after announcing himself as the key to our future is just proper Tottenham heritage. I think he just swallowed a fly or swallowed a gum or something like that. Something happened with Bergvall. And there was two moments really where he had that time when he had to get his boots fixed or his boots changed. And Dave and I were so confused. Is he picking up another injury? We were really worried there. And then the other part to it as well was when he had that incident where he clearly had something wrong with his throat, or he might have swallowed something or nearly looked like he was going to throw up, like what John Pass said. It was a tough one to go through in the watch along because we just had no idea what was going on with Bergvall. But that is the last preseason friendly of the summer. That's going to be the last Twitter reacts of the preseason to us reacting to these preseason friendlies. Hopefully you have enjoyed them, and there will be plenty more this upcoming season. And it seems like you guys really enjoyed the Twitter reacts to the Dominic Solanke signing. We'll hopefully be able to do maybe one or two more of those if there are going to be more signings this summer. But apologies on this being a kind of a faster paced one than usual, and the fact that I don't have Dave alongside me. It's just that, this evening we had some plans after the game, and hopefully you guys can understand right before we get into the hectic, chaotic season. But appreciate you guys, really appreciated all the support that we did have during the watch along, despite it being, I think, an intense as well as a hectic type of performance, that there was definitely plenty of concerns and question marks about it, but also some positives to take, I would say as well. Not all doom and gloom, but really have appreciated your guys' support over this next week. Look out for so much content to be coming out. We have the fan show coming up. We're going to be publishing all the stuff that we'll be providing for the members this upcoming season. You also have as well the fantasy that's going to be finally released. Sorry that that's taken so long. So do look out for plenty more upcoming this week, everybody. But we will be seeing you. Come on, you Spurs. In the Big Ange we trust. We never stop. And if you can for me, hit the like button on the way out.